between Ontario Tech and Western in the lower bracket.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this goes out. They're starting to work their way towards this top side. We've got a few going upstairs into the cat for Western. Shanks start things off with the first kill.
Oh, so Brother Jammer will be Steve and Shanks is Zim. So so those are console players. So they will be playing on those accounts, and Steve and Zim, vice versa. We've called this before, so you'll have an idea. But Steve and Zim, Brothers Jammer and Shanks, good friend of us, lent us their account and stuff. So we will be underway already. The hard point is under Ontario Tech control.
Yeah, they've been holding it for a little while now. You can see Western is trying to find their way into this site. You got a kill coming around there for Hyper Lou, but he is taken out in the top part of Cat there by Dabo. So we've got now nobody on point, and Western starting to make their way towards that new point that's about to spawn.
Yeah, Steve. Try and play for P2, and it has to play towards pool area, but the rotate over between P1 to P2 can be incredibly difficult, especially if Western gets the read, but the flank coming in from Dabo will be so effective, and although Ontario Tech, the spawns will switch, they're going to play around the P2 side. Now you can see Western playing for the long angles, throwing the utility, diving in, actually. Drin and Hyper will be able to do some damage, and although the trades are coming through, it's still in the favor of Western, but just barely.
Yeah, that they finally got all of those Ontario Tech players off the map there. They're going to start making their way back into contest this point, but Drin is doing a great job holding people off.
Drin and Hyper, along with Teddy, who we've seen Teddy pop off at so many occasions. Western is legitimately one of my favorite teams to watch because, yes, they might not win all the time, but they make every single map entertaining by just going off with their SMGs. That is their win condition in Saw and Teddy. If Drin can get on the board with some AR play, great. But Saw and Teddy, those are the teams or players that you need to be watching.
Yep, it's going to be moving over to P3 now. Western's got the first hold on it, but Ontario Tech able to clear out those Western players and get back on point, see if they can hold it a bit and take their lead. Western spawning on the far side, but they have one lurker on the backside who is mitigated by Steve right there.
Yeah, especially on this point where holding those top ends on either side of the map can have so much control into this P3 area. Teddy finally getting on point. He's just going to go back and forth. Steve and Zim fighting for it. Steve gets taken out. Teddy, perfect AR play. Gets another, especially on TylerFury, but the nade will come through on TylerFury for the trade, leaving this point uncontested for a bit.
Yep, that's a good nade trade for TylerFury. I'm glad that one happened. And you can see the Ontario Tech team starting to make their way towards that next point while they collect a few of the garbage points here.
Western, they had the idea to send in the rotate early, but now they have to be careful of the respawn control. Drin is going to try and flip the respawns, get these back, and you can see he's in the position for it. So I believe the spawns will flip. Yeah, look at that. You can see already Dabo getting the opposite spawn. I'm not sure if it'll flip all the way back, but Drin needs to stay alive. Going to be able to get one pick on Steve, but will be traded out, and this is going to go in Western's favor. Brilliant respawn play.
Yeah, that's a great play by them. You can see how far the Ontario Tech team has to go to get to this point. They've now got control, and Western has to deal with that kind of far away spawn. They've got to make their way through the main building here, see if they can find their way into the site. But there's a lot of angles being held by Ontario Tech. You can see they've got all eyes on that middle area.
Yeah, with Tyler being in that top position, that essentially locks down this area because not only do you have to make it past that top position now, dealing with an AR, but now you have to go to the backside, attempt to split the spawns again, and then take control of point. It's why so many pros have a hard time dealing with this map in particular on hardpoint, because once you snowball from that P forward position back to P1, I mean, it is so difficult. So Ontario Tech will be double the points right now. Western, what am I saying?
Yep.
Western will be able to transition back to P1, hold it for a little bit.
Yeah, they've got a little bit of good positioning here. They're able to take out some of the spawning in Ontario Tech players, but Shanks quickly turns around and kills thing. Is traded out by Hyper, though. Oh, sorry, Teddy. The kill feed said Hyper. The screen was right,
classic.
Said Teddy.
Classic.
Or Hyper.
But, I mean, so much of it is holding in that line control, keeping that lane closed so that there's no entry onto site, or at least if there is no entry, you're able to take down as many as possible before they get onto points. So Western doing a decent job at just controlling the perimeter of this area. Having that cat control will go back into Steve's favor, going to be able to delete Western.
Yeah. good kill by Steve. You can see Western has a little bit of a favorable position for this next spawn point, but it's going to be a fight between, one Western player, Saw, and he's taken out. So now Ontario Tech is all over this point.
Steve coming into play with the AR, needs to, especially for P2. TylerFury sliding down the stairs like he's got a groove, and we'll be able to take down 2.
You got now a nice hold here for, I think, as TylerFury gets a triple kill. And finally, Western able to make their way into the point, but it's not going to be without any resistance as Ontario Tech is quickly making their way back onto this site.
Oh no, oh no. The door opening blocked the trophy from getting thrown in.
Oh no.
Oh, that's pain if I've ever seen it. So Ontario Tech will still have control of it as briefly as possible. We're going to see 2 respawns, floating players. Hyper finally able to get on the board with some kills. A triple of his own, being able to clear for Western. Hyper showing up.
Yeah, that's 2 kills there for Hyper, or Drin, I believe. And that is some nice gunplay, but Dabo able to clear him up, and he's going to work his way back onto the site. He's got to see if he can get eyes on Saw. He does. He clears him out of the pool right there.
Teddy already trying to clear out that P3 area, along with Drin clearing out top as well. Our top needs to be cleared. He does. And now they'll have full control if they can maintain this vantage point. In turn, Dabo going to be able to clear up 2, potentially will clear up 2. There is no vision on the flank, and it could be disastrous for this P3.
Yeah, that was a great flank by Dabo. Really clears up a lot of space for them to get a good hold on this site. As we see another kill in the middle by TylerFury, keeps them off that point. And now they got to work their way through this one angle. Finally spawning on the opposite side. Does got to watch out for Saw.
Good job at clearing out the lane. And now we're going to start to transition over to P4, which will have an effect. If Western gets set up on P4, you can already see Hyper playing that back position, preventing the spawn from switching. So Ontario Tech, they're going to have to play for the far spawn on P4. And it looks like it will be controlled, though that is a good pick from Zim. Again, one of the win conditions for P4 is you have that art top position along with the respawns. And at the moment, Zim will be able to take another, and I believe these spawns will flip, as we'll see it. Drin spawning far along with Hyper. They're going to have to play incredibly far, and Carlton are going to have to hope and pray they can hold on to this long enough so that they can switch the spawns back.
Yeah, this has been a tough one for Western, but they were able to get back on that site and slowly close the gap in points here. I said glap, that's not a word, but they're making their way in. Ontario Tech with a final push on this point before it's
Steve and TylerFury working together to flip these spawns and take control of this point. That is Drin for a 5-kill streak, and with it, although it will go back into Ontario Tech favor, I believe Western can be pretty happy in how they've played this P4 as they transition it back to P1.
They've got control over the site right now, but Ontario Tech is making their way in here, so we're going to see a lot of different stuff coming in. They've got a kind of faraway spawn right now, so this works out a little bit in Western's favor.
I mean, look, with how Western is positioned, I mean, from the start of the game to now, Western, they were lacking a little bit of confidence, and Ontario Tech were kind of bullying them, especially early on. But as we've transitioned from P4 to P1, they know exactly what their win con is. They know what they're doing. They need to have position in point before Ontario Tech, and they're chasing for that, and it's what's keeping them so close.
Yeah, Ontario Tech gets on site. Trophy went down, but then immediately shot, unfortunately, by the own player. And we've got TylerFury holding this point. A good kill in the thing by Zim, but he's traded out by, looks like, Hyper Lou.
Teddy playing this on site. Needing to get a trade. Saw can't get much, and Saw a little bit quiet this far. It's 22 and 21, and we haven't really seen him have too much impact potential. TylerFury collecting 2 for himself. Of course, the star player going to have this cat control, prevent any rotates on to P2. And especially with these far angles, now it's on Western to use those ARs to effectiveness.
Yeah, this is going to be a good hold for Ontario Tech here as they're starting to make a little bit more of a gap here, but we've got the Western players coming in from this backside. Drin able to pick up one, or
Saw.
maybe Saw, yeah.
There
Saw
it
gets
is.
another one before he's traded out by Steve.
Drin and Saw both being effective here. I swear I thought Drin had that, but apparently TylerFury just has a better Jackal. Regardless, Ontario Tech will still maintain this one, and I believe they'll be holding it for the duration. Western probably going to start rotating over to the P3 side. As you can see, Drin collecting that cat control and making sure it's hold down, that Steve will be locked there as Ontario Tech will transition as well.
Ontario Tech has a player on that site already. Gets a lucky pick there, Zim. Drin didn't check the angle there, and Zim is able to take him out, but Western does get more players on site, and they're going to have the first control of this hardpoint. Quickly changed up, though, by Ontario Tech.
We're going to see some fights over both the interior and street. Now, we can see Ontario Tech keeping that coverage in cut, have the chance to end this series here. Any momentum that Western might have collected could all be for naught if they're able to eliminate and put down Western here and now. And although Western have this point for the time being, Ontario Tech, they're prowling. They're waiting for their prey to succumb. They're doing everything they can to flush them out.
Yeah. Dabo able to... TylerFury gets a headshot to get himself on site, but he's traded out by Saw. And this point is now left open.
Need this top control. And now we're going to transition over to P4, as we often do. But it looks like Western, they're not willing to let it go just yet. But with the positioning of Zim, the respawns might go into... No, Ontario Tech, they haven't been able to flip the spawns yet, so it will be Zim taken out. Western in a prime position now, as not only do they have control of top, but they also have the respawns in their favor, which makes this P4 so hard to retake. But TylerFury, as always, is on the board and putting Ontario Tech on his back.
Yeah, watch out. Here comes Tyler. He's got a great line of sight here. He's not going to be able to get past Saw right here as he's fighting... Or sorry, that's Steve fighting Saw. And... we get Ontario Tech back on the hard point for just a little bit here. It's contested right now.
It's getting close, though. The respawns are so far for Ontario Tech. They're going to have to play from this line position. And although Teddy is able to get set up, he's going to be able to get a pick for himself. Ontario Tech are diving, and it looks like Western, they will be able to succeed on this P4 side. They've been so good at it. But no, don't let the garbage time go. Ontario Tech, they're letting the garbage time. Is there enough time? It will disappear in that span, so it will be a fight for P1. Ontario Tech will collect, and with it, win the series off of that last P1. Western so close, but not close enough.
Yeah, that...